What's going on, beautiful people? Machiavelli Mills TV. So it's time to talk about my boy Big Gipp, right? So Big Gipp has been on, what is it, the Art of Dialogue YouTube channel. I hope I got that correct. Maybe if not, if I got it correct, I'll put the correct name of, if I got it incorrect, I'll put the correct name of the YouTube channel in the comment section below. So Big Gipp of the Dungeon family of Goody Mob, he's getting interviewed and he's getting asked about, New York hip hop and Jay-Z, so on and so forth, Jay-Z. And he's throwing a slight at Jay-Z every single chance he could get. Now, a brother can have his opinion. He can feel like there are better rappers than Jigga. And that's fine. You can feel like it's better rappers than Jay. I have no problem with that, right? But it's some hate and it's some real underlying disdain for a person. When you say, if Tupac was alive, Beyonce would be with Tupac, not Jay-Z. She wouldn't be with Jay. She would be with Pac. It's like, bro, come on, fam. That's just getting way too out of pocket. Now your hate and your disdain is getting a little too ugly. You gonna say that man's wife would be with another man if that other man was alive, bro? That's out of pocket, out of line. For real. And what's really going on is I really think that either Big Gipp had a personal situation with Jay, or I think that New York bias that really existed in hip-hop, I think it hurt his feelings a lot. At the time the New York bias was taking place, Jigga was at the helm. He was at the pinnacle for New York rap for a long time. And I think that it hurt a lot of Southern artists when New York the New York fan base, the New York radio stations, kind of turned their nose up at them. A lot of the Southern artists like Outkast and Goody Mob and even Master P and them were getting shunned at one point by New York radio stations because New York is the mecca of hip hop and they have a affinity for the purist. Guys who use a lot of metaphors, similes, have great wordplay. They use a certain slang, have a certain cadence, have a certain tone, have a certain style. They have affinity for those individuals who originate from where they're from, right? And I know it had a lot of Southern artists being left out in certain conversations. Their music weren't getting played. It wasn't getting. They weren't getting spins in certain areas of New York, so on and so forth, or certain prominent New York radio stations. They weren't getting played by Flex and all of that. And that New York bias hurt a lot of Southern artists. And they feel like, yo, we were dope. We are dope in the craft in ourselves, and we're not getting enough credit. And New York at the time, Jigga was at the pinnacle. And so I think Big Gipp is attacking Jay because Jay represents the image of the New York bias that took place within hip hop. Now, there's no shade or slight to New York City. I recognize New York as the mecca of hip hop. A lot of my favorite rappers come from New York City, without question. I love Jigga, Nas, Jadakiss. Grew up listening to Fab, grew up listening to Styles P. So many different New York, or 50, love 50, love Ja. A lot of New York artists I love their music. But I would be a fool to act like the New York bias wasn't a thing that really was going on. Like for a while, if you didn't sound like New York or close to it, it was certain people who really wasn't rocking with it. Who thought, especially down south, calling them boys country bumpkins, calling them Bamas, really making fun of them. And again, Outkast is my favorite hip-hop group of all time, which is why I got this picture of Andre 3000 with the Mr. Clean bottle. It's a play on the So Fresh, So Clean song from Outkast off Stankonia, off of the Stankonia album, right? But nonetheless, man, a lot of the artists were slighted in a major way. And New York audiences and DJs and radio stations were not really rocking with certain stuff. It took them a while to get on board. And I think a lot of the Southern artists took that to heart. And I saw it, and I feel like it was a New York thing too, because New York bias too for a minute, because I thought you couldn't even be from Chicago, Illinois, and from my hometown of Chicago, Illinois, and make it as a mainstream artist. I didn't think you would get a lot of love and acclaim, and you wouldn't get a lot of it wouldn't be a lot of clamor around your music if you weren't from New York City. If you were from Chicago, I didn't think you couldn't make it if you was from Chicago. Until I saw Kanye Tutta at the time. He was different. He was a different Kanye then. That was Chicago Kanye. When I saw Through the Wire video on 106 and Park getting spins, when I saw slow jams being played across America, like y'all wanted to cry. When I saw Harold's Chicken being displayed in the Through the Wire video right by my grandma's house on 103rd and Halsted, when I saw him at Leon's Barbecue, Jackie Robinson Park in Chicago, I felt elated I was a young boy. I was a little kid, man. I was about 10 years old. 10 years old watching these images. And I'm like, wow, we really made it. We on TV. Because I thought every artist on 106 and Park, when they was battle rapping, they was always from New York, or somewhere close, like Jersey, even close in Philly area, something like that. It was like you had to be from a certain region to get popping. And kind of, again, sounding like New York City. Certain styles sound close to that style. So I recognize it was a thing, but I think Gipp is really, really hurt. He spent a lot of his time hurt by it. A lot of certain artists did, which is why I felt like Pimp C felt like he felt that he didn't even want to do the Big Pimpin' song with Jigga. Started throwing slice to Jigga here and there, and I think it represented that New York, maybe East Coast as well, bias. Gipp is hurt by that, but nonetheless, let me say this. Also, I think at play here is a lot of brothers have an affinity, like an over love fest for Tupac Shakur. Brothers love Pac. What Jigga say? Ladies love me long time like Tupac soul. Men love Pac in the same way. Not even on no like funny stuff, like trying to call them like, not trying to say that they funny style or they gay or something like that. Nothing like that. But like men grew up idolizing and worshiping Pac for his style, his delivery, his raps, the way girls were and women were enamored with him, the way he was sleeping with more than half of the industry. A lot of brothers looked up to that and worshiped that, and then he was able to be conscious and then be modeled in the prototypical thug image at times. A lot of brothers fell in love with that style and who he was as a hip hop figure. And so they always try to think that they big up Pac in ways. It's like, bro, it's a little too much. Saying that man's wife will be with Pac, bro, how do you know that, bro? We don't know that. We don't know if that's what Beyonce into. Because Jigga is not the everyday, regular, street, super thugged out dude. She didn't even go for them types. At a young age, she was with Jigga. So how can we say that? And again, to say a man's wife would be with another man is just is hating and clowned out to me. And I love Gipp. I love Goody Mob. Love Outkast. Love Goody Mob. Love them. But like, bro, nah, fam. We ain't gonna do that. But brothers love Pac so much they think Pac could do no wrong. He could turn Gatorade into wine. They think Pac can walk on water. They think Pac can make a loaf, can feed a village of 1 million people with 2 loaves of bread. Brothers they really buy into the mystique and the image and the allure of what Pac was. They buy into that so much that they start saying things that are like, come on, man, really? Like they'll say Pac can do anything you can imagine. They'll tell you Pac would have slept with, I don't know. He would have slept with Maya Angelou. Some wild, crazy, people would say anything. Like, bro, really? And let me not disrespect Maya Angelou like that, but like, brothers be getting out of hand. Like, I know you love and respect and admire him, but it's just like, people love Pac so much, they don't hold him accountable for certain things that happened. They don't even admit that certain things that happened, and I love Pac as much as the next person. All Eyes on Me, one of my favorite albums of all fucking time. Me Against the World is dope too, for sure, right? But a lot of the album was dope. But nonetheless, I'm saying, I love Do for Love. Do for Love, goddamn, that's poetry. But anyway, a lot of brothers they love Pac so much they think he could do no wrong. They don't acknowledge that Pac started moving backwards, hustling backwards, by affiliating himself with Mob Piru and acting as if he was in the mold with them. Now, it's one thing you show loyalty to them, you love them because they came and bonded you out of jail, Suge got you out of jail, so on and so forth. But stealing off Orlando out of nowhere, inserting yourself in certain beefs you didn't need to be in. Like I told y'all, if I was a dude, me from Chicago, if I signed to a group of BDs, and the group of BDs is into it with a group of GDs, and I'm just a rapper on a label, yeah, they look out for me, they rock with me, but I just walk and I see one of their GD enemies, and I go up and just punch them. What? Brother, they're going to kill me, bro. What is that? And I'm not advocating it was right for that to happen to Pac, but bro, what? They is not finna play with me. They finna get on my ass and then some, and try their best to get to me in any way they can. And it's gonna be a thing, man. Like, especially coming from a dude that they feel like is a rapper or a guy that's just making music. He not really in the street. He not a gang member like us. He not from the same cloth, like the same gang banging cloth. I'm not saying Pac wasn't no real dude. I'm not saying he wasn't street smart, but he not from the gang banging cloth, the gang banging fold. He not doing the same type of stuff we doing, the same type of heinous lifestyle we live in. He ain't living that. They gonna wanna do everything to him because it's embarrassing for them to get humiliated by the rapper dude. So it's like, it was wrong for Pac to steal off Orlando and stomp him out. That was wrong. He shouldn't have done that. That was a big mistake, and people act like they make excuses for that because they love Pac so much. My thing is, I'm saying, brothers love Pac so much they would just say anything. And Gipp really, really admires. He has a certain, like, again, an adulation for Pac in a major way. And then the New York bias hurt his feelings to where he just saying off the wall stuff. Jigga, again, you can say Jigga may not be the best to you. He may not be your favorite. But you can't say the brother can't rap. And to just say, oh, his woman would have been. It was just every single turn. He born solid this dude. I'm like, damn, did Jigga steal Gipp girl too? Shit, I don't know. Did he steal a chick Gipp wanted to kick it with or something? I don't know. Or did he diss Gipp? Or, in public? Or, I don't know. It might be more behind that, but it sounds personal. But again, it's maybe, I don't know everything, but it just sounds like that New York bias hurt his heart, and Jigga was at the forefront, at the pinnacle of the quote unquote New York bias for real. But he also spoke about how a lot of New York members didn't want to fuck with Nas after Jigga was going at him. And certain radio stations would not play Ether, didn't want to play him no more because they didn't want to risk losing a relationship with Jigga. They love Jigga so much, and it may, I don't know, Jigga might have told them don't play that shit or I'm not letting y'all get exclusive interviews with me or so on and so forth. I'm going to block y'all from coming to this event. I don't know. And Jigga my favorite rapper of all time, but ain't no telling, man. But it just sounds real personal with Gipp. And Gipp got to let that go. It just, saying that dude wife would have been with another man. Like, come on, bro. Really? This what we doing, Gipp? And I love Gipp, but come on, man. That's not becoming of you, brother. Knock it off. Machiavelli Mills TV. I'm out. Peace.